So, two-part process. All right. We are hopefully starting soon.
Yes. Sorry about the delay there. Just a few technical difficulties getting our encoder to work, and then also getting our camera up and running. We're just double checking everything, making sure that we're live.
So it says starting soon. I don't know what's happened this week. It still says starting soon. Starting soon. We have started.
So we're live for 50 seconds.
Claims we're live. I don't know what to say. I don't know if we should just record it.
Maybe I should take a look here on my side.
Yeah.
Let's take a look here. So you can change screens then, at least. Well, we got that down. That's good.
Hello. How are you guys? Somehow it ended up being much, much worse.
No, we figured out a few things.
Figured out a few things, like our black magic device doesn't work. That we should return it. Can't believe it.
Or at least we've not figured it out yet.
It's been an hour. Yeah. Let's have to spend some time afterwards. Again, it was like last second because it arrived literally a half an hour before we wanted to start.
Yeah.
We got it here, and it refused to cooperate. I'm sure that as soon as this event is done, it will work flawlessly. Hey, we are live. There we go. Sweet.
All right. So get your.
Cool.
Go back to your screen then.
All right.
The correct screen, because this.
You want to load the presentation again?
Yeah, so I don't need to.
So, all right. Thanks for watching. We also don't have our trusty assistant Johnny today, which is why it's not working. Let me go to black real quick. We're going to officially start here in about 10 seconds. All right. Welcome to Stan Productions Pro Marketing Strategies. I'm Stanley.
And I am Daniel.
All right. So we have a few bugs this week.
A few bugs is... Wait, actually, let me adjust this ever so slightly. We were attempting to get our camera hooked up so we could use the Blackmagic, and unfortunately our AF100 and our GH2, neither of which were able to be used to connect, so we had to resort to the
good old laptop.
Webcam.
Webcam.
Yeah.
So here we are. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, Daniel?
Okay. Well, I am right now working full-time in antique automobiles, and what I do is I help guys restore old memories. And I've worked for my father for quite a few years, and on the side I've been helping him doing marketing and helping his company, Southeast Chevy Parts, be able to expand and grow, and have seen great results in establishing a website, a web presence, and now producing more content for him and specifically for his niche, and have seen really great increase. He's daily tells me, oh, that website's amazing and it's doing great. So
very good. Cool. I am a video maker by trade. Been doing it for about 8 years. I work for Florida's largest hospital, and voted #1 by U.S. News Report. That's all due to the videos that I've made. Just kidding.
Sure.
But I have recently been doing marketing for a school and more commercials here. And so that's some of the expertise that I bring. And
actually, we just did a commercial not too long ago for Consumer Reports, and it was a lot of fun. We did quite a few of them, and they really were pleased with them.
Yep.
So
we actually ended up making 2 that were for them.
Yep.
So it was very good. Cool. What are we going to talk about today, Daniel?
All right. Today we're going to be talking about, as you saw in the intro there, finding your USP, finding who you are, what your business is, your unique selling proposition. It comes by many names, value proposition, the elevator speech, the USP, and what I think is important as we start off here in marketing tips and advanced techniques is really defining who you are. And that's very important, because I think that without knowing that the uniqueness of who you are and what your business is, you really are going to sound like everybody else, and you're not going to be able to really have an edge in your market. So I believe you actually love to hear the story that you had that you told me about earlier today.
Yeah. The thing about marketing is it's really tempting to make marketing that is fun, or marketing that is viral, if you will. That's kind of one of the things I get asked to make all the time is, Stanley, can you make us a viral video? And the thing is a lot of times, viral is one thing. It gets you a lot of attention, but if it doesn't tell the consumer something unique about your company, then what's the point of going viral? For example, Kmart, that's how little they talked about themselves in the commercial. Kmart came out with a pretty good viral commercial called Ship My Pants, about a family asking a clerk, I just shipped my pants, or just telling them I just shipped my pants. And it sounds funny, and it went viral. There's people saying, oh, I shipped my bed, and all that stuff. And it went all over the place, all over social media, all over everywhere. But Kmart sales...
Now, did they do any bumper stickers?
No, I don't know.
That would have been good. A bumper sticker. Yeah, so.
I shipped my car.
Yes.
No. They don't sell cars at Kmart. But
yes.
The sales for Kmart actually went down 3.5%. And why is that? And I believe it's because they did not demonstrate their unique selling proposition in the commercial. What they talked about was being able to order items online. And it's like, we've had that since like 1995. Like, that's not news. That's not even something worth noting anymore. And they made a whole viral campaign about it. Went viral, passed everywhere. Everyone's like, yeah, I should buy my clothes online. Did they go to Kmart? No, because they could go anywhere. And so it didn't really help Kmart. And that's why selling a unique selling proposition is really what's so important to the core of all marketing material.
Yeah. And again, this is important to you really for, I'd say, 3 reasons. Number 1 is having the control of the market. Being able to demand the prices you want, and being able to have control of where you're going with your product and with your clients. The second one is having a clearer vision. You know where you're going, you know who you are, what you're doing, and in all of that, I think results that you're going to be enjoying your work more. And so I think that, finding your USP is extremely important in those 3 ways. And what we're going to do today is actually kind of run you through a few templates, some key templates that really help you be able to define that. But before we do that, one thing to also, I think, illustrate the importance behind the USP, or to demonstrate that you probably are not really capitalizing on your own USP, is kind of revealing what we call the cliche test, the cliche evaluations. A lot of businesses look at and use their advertisement and pretty much look like and sound like everybody else. And what we'd like to do is kind of go through a test, if you would. And what I want to do is I want to go ahead and give you the cliche test. All right. And actually, before we do that, I wanted to say this is a good definition, a working definition of what is a cliche. A cliche is a phrase or expression that has been used so often that it is no longer original, interesting, or effective. And those three words are very key. Originality, of interest, and effectiveness.
So let's talk about maybe an example of something that's a cliche that we hear all the time. Maybe something like...
all right. You look at any probably Yellow Pages or any work van that drives by, and I guarantee you it'll have some type of cliche like, here in Orlando, #1 best in Orlando. Okay. I mean, any business can say that. In fact, another one that you see in the Yellow Pages a lot is AAA. I mean, just here in Orlando, I was opening up and looking at the Yellow Pages. There's a AAA resume writing company. There's a AAA mechanic. There's a AAA, what was the other one? Like plumbing. There's like everything AAA. And this is not anything unique. This is a gimmick to get you to the front of the Yellow Pages, or the front of some type of alphabetical list, to be the first. But since everybody else can do it, in time it really runs out. It is not effective in the long run, and it says nothing about who you are. And so there are some examples right there of some common cliches that you would see in the Yellow Pages, or as you would do any type of, looking around.
So things like where people say something kind of broad and, nebulous, if you will, like, we are the best, educator, we're the best plumber, we're the best dentist, something like that. It really doesn't tell you much, or it doesn't even tell you why they're the best.
A lot of hyperbole. And what they'll do is even within your own industry, there might be certain statements like licensed, bonded, and insured. Well, again, all of those are cliches. #1, the best in, lowest prices. We've been in business since 1601 BC. All of these things that you just see everywhere, and it really doesn't. You look like everybody else, and so you lose the effect, and you lose the control in the market and the ability to then amongst your competition.
Yep.
So let's take a look then at the cliche test here, and I love to do the first one, which is, well, I would hope so. And that one is as it's not showing.
More problems. It's not
showing
in the background. All right, we'll just have to look at it
there
right here.
There we go. All right. So, well, I would hope so. And this one is pretty much like duh. I mean, it's just like a dumb statement that they're making. For instance,
I'll say some things.
All right.
I'm a dentist. I give the best fillings.
Okay, the best fillings. Not only that, but see, it's not just so much the best fillings.
I do
fillings and remove teeth or do dental cleaning. It's like, well, duh, you're a dentist. I would hope so. I mean, that's why I'm coming to you. I'm not coming to you with my car.
Yeah, or a mechanic. We fix transmissions, air conditioning, and brakes.
Yeah, it's like...
And it's just a list, and you're like, okay, well, yeah, you're a car place. Yeah, you should be fixing that stuff, right?
Exactly. I would hope so. That's why I'm coming to you. You are a mechanic. That's what mechanic means. And so you're not saying anything new to the customer that they wouldn't know. Again, you could have something like the licensed, bonded, and insured, or we do the job right the first time.
Well, I would hope so.
I mean, what are you going to say? We are lazy, we are untrustworthy, and we're totally going to rip you off. No, that's not what a business is going to say.
We wish people would tell us that if they were going to do it.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. They're not going to say that. And so by saying the opposite, again, it's totally speaking into the expectations of a customer, and they're going to say to themselves, well, yeah, duh, that's what I would hope you would do. So
how about something tricky like this? A mechanic saying we are a trustworthy mechanic may actually be something that could be useful to the buyer, but it is also something that I would hope so.
Yeah, exactly. I would totally hope so, that they were trustworthy. If you want to use something as a trustworthiness, and in fact, this kind of goes into the next test, all right? The next test, which is who else can say that really is asking yourself this question, okay? So one mechanic, say, approaches us and says, hey, I want you to help us out. Here's what our ad says. We're the most trustworthy mechanics, in Orlando. And I would look at them and I'd ask them, okay, well, who else can say that? And I mean, they could totally sit here and say, well, no. We truly can say this because we do this, and they start spouting off all these things that are really legit and really good. But I looked at them and I can just say, well, wait a minute. Look at the yellow pages. Look at your competitor who's actually on the other side of that yellow page there, and notice that they are saying the exact same thing. In other words, notice I said, who else can say what you say, not who else can do what you do. And therein lies the distinction between a cliche and really a good USP. Because when I challenged him and he started spouting off all the things that they did, those were the USPs that should have been leveraged, not the general cliche of we're the most trustworthy or we're the number one mechanic in Orlando.
So let's play around again. Let's give a few other examples. So I am a photographer.
Okay.
And I say, I am I take the most cinematic photos here in Orlando.
Okay. Again, that would be a bit of a cliche, and I would want to draw them out. See, a lot of this process really takes asking good questions. If you can ask good questions and get to the root and find out what is their leveraging point, what is it that their unique selling point there, I would ask them questions like, okay, where do you go? How do you do this? And say, for instance, I'm talking to this photographer, and I'm discovering, okay, they actually do history. They don't just go out and snap a picture. The reason why they can capture cinematic photography is because they've done a background check and history of this location, found out these artifacts, these things are important to get, and so they're going to get a beautiful broad shot that's going to capture these specific elements because they know that those are the things that are important about that location. That should be used.
Or I was going to say, in essence, you want to find the things that, it's like, why is it cinematic? Give an actual example of, I do extensive research for every client to find the perfect prop. Would be like, oh, okay, well, now that is not a cliche. That's like, no one else could probably say that. Something broad like, ooh, cinematic, or I take beautiful photos is like, anybody could say that, but like, no, I do extra effort, or I do like 2 days of pre-production on your thing to just get the right props. Now that's something that's interesting and marketable.
Yes, exactly. And there again lies needing to find those things within your business that make you stand out, so that somebody who could see your ad be able to say, whoa, that's different. I'm interested there. And you also then need to, the scope of today's lesson isn't going to cover this, but we'll be covering it in later lessons of how to then find those, what questions to ask,
And if you can't think of anything unique, time to start inventing something unique for yourself. If you are exactly like every other photographer, every other dentist, every other whatever you are, time to ask yourself, how can I be different from everybody else?
And that's very good.
And that's where marketing and your business can come together and create something newer and better and greater. All right, let's go into test number 3.
Test number 3 is the cross out write-in test. Very similar to test number 2, but with this one, it is much more revealing and kind of taking a look at your competitors' advertisements, or even your own for that matter, and if you would be able to literally remove your name and put in your competitors, or remove your competitors and put in your name, and the ad still be valid, that, my friend, is a cliche. Because again, it says nothing unique about you. It is just a general statement. It is unoriginal. It is unimportant to the viewer, and therefore it is ineffective in being able to convert.
So it's very similar to the one before. Who else can say that? Because literally, if I was a wedding photographer again, and I said, I take great photos, terrible, and it's like the other people could cross it out and be like, so can they. And again, it comes down to being unique and making sure that your business can stand out. And if you don't have anything unique, it's time to get unique.
I mean, maybe a wedding photographer says, look, I actually bring in a team of 4 people. We actually travel and we are actually following the groom and the bride and 2 other people that you would want us to follow. We then take snapshots, intertwine it within video and create this huge multimedia presentation. We're actually able to then even record some of it and show by the end of your reception, boom, right there, a live showing that just happened, an hour ago. Something like that is like, whoa.
Yeah, we're same, like, if you were a photographer and you were a wedding photographer and you did same day edits, like that right there, you're going to stand out. And not a lot of people could say that. And not a lot of people could cross your name out and put their name in. Yep. And so that's more effective marketing if you were to talk about that part of your business.
Yeah.
So let's recap those real quick. We get the cliche test. Think about your company's last marketing. And could you read it and say, well, yeah, I would hope so. Could you say, well, who else could say that? And would you be able to cross out your name and write your competitor's name in? If so, it's time to change your marketing.
Yes, because you are dealing with cliches, and as we say, they're unoriginal, they are unimportant to the customer, and therefore they will be ineffective in converting into sales. So what we want to do then here in this lesson specifically is let's go ahead and take a few good templates and actually apply them to our business. And as we're doing this, we just encourage you to do the same. And in fact, if you've got any questions, if you're on our site right now, you can actually be leaving comments below, or should be a widget off to the side where you'll be able to then actually write some comments and our moderator could respond in that way. But we're going to use a template and then get a chance to go through and work through our own and give you some examples, and we'd encourage you to do the same with yours.
Yeah. And then what we're going to go through essentially is a way to figure out your own USP.
Yeah.
Because we've just set a test here. The cliche test is basically a way to tell if your marketing needs work. And then this next one is, even if your marketing is already pretty good, you can watch this or do these tests and figure out what is a better way to market it. Yeah. So let's talk about the first test here, Daniel.
All right, so the first one is Jeff Moore's value propositioning statement, and in it, it's kind of there. You see on the screen, kind of a template of it, and it's a great one because it's a fill in the blank. You have for, and then your targeted customer. Who is it for? Who, as some type of statement of the need of opportunity that they have, and then what is it that you do? Are you doing a product? Are you doing a service? And then what is that category of that product? And then, of course, what is the benefit to the customer? So an example of that here would be, for instance, our business, Pro Marketing Strategies, the Go2Gurus. All right, we are for small local business owners who struggle to find a return on investment with online marketing. Our service is a custom, comprehensive marketing strategy that leverages a business's USP for highly profitable returns.
Very good. Now, let's just say if we were the wedding photographer, again, we would be, our target customer might be people looking to get married.
Yeah, newlyweds, there you go.
Who need a good photographer that would help them stand out from the crowd. Our photography is cinematic with same day edits, and or is cinematic that provides same day edits, pre-production, set design, and costuming. Would be something. Let me click on that thing again to bring it back up so you can see what we've done. So that would be a great way to just find out, okay, who is it for? What do they want? What do I already do? And then what do I do that's different than anybody else? Is essentially what you're looking at.
Yep.
So
yeah.
All right. You want to do any others? You want to?
I could do, like, for instance, another company that obviously that I work with for my father in his old vintage vehicles would be, for a classic Chevy hobbyists. All right, a classic Chevy hobbyist who are looking to restore their original car to originality, restore their Chevy to originality. Our products are original, and restored that allows you then to out of box put them on your car for a faster restoration process. So that would be kind of one leveraging point that we would have for our USP at Southeast Chevy Parts would be something like that.
Yeah, so you can see how this actually makes it really easy. And really, I also love screenwriting, and this kind of helps you come up with your log line or the basis of what your foundation is. But this one does it even more, this next one. It's the Venture Hacks High Concept Pitch.
So why don't you go ahead and explain this one then?
So you take a proven industry example and you kind of move it into a new zone, if you will. The famous pitch for the movie Aliens was Jaws in space. So if you were to say Facebook for car enthusiasts, or we have some written here, Flickr for video, Friendster for dogs, the Firefox of media players, or let me think of some other ones.
I mean, you have Jaws in space, which is another one of what Star Wars was. In other words, you're going to take something that's familiar, something that's common, that they can kind of hook their minds around, and then you're going to attach it with something that's new and innovative. So
the Netflix for books. There's a few that are out there now. The Netflix for video games. Anything else you could rent, or stream online would be like the Netflix of, or
what was the one company? In fact, as we're talking about wedding cinematography or videos, that one wedding company that did it literally almost like a movie. It was just beautiful and elegant.
Pacific Pictures.
Okay, Pacific Pictures. I would say take a look at theirs. A great example of certainly very unique and very cinematic, very powerful and elegant long shots. And they were though very high end, but again, theirs would be, I would say,
cinematic wedding videos.
Exactly, a cinematic, going to the movies, but for a wedding kind of like thing. There goes like, oh, they're familiar with that, and then melding it.
High end production for weddings, or a game for. Car repair, like gamifying car repair, like okay, you've got 300 points for you bought this,
which is almost like the Facebook what's the farm?
Oh yeah, Farmville.
Yeah,
or something like
Farmville,
that.
exactly. It'd be like
let's not talk about Farmville.
Oh, okay, never mind.
It's a sore spot for the many hours I waste. I'm just kidding. No, but you can kind of see where we're going. This is another way. If you don't have something unique about your company. This is a great way to figure out what is it that I could do for my company, and actually maybe even form a new company of like, wait a minute, if I could incentivize whoever bought the most car parts or whoever referred the most people to my wedding video company or photography company, whoever referred the most people to my dentistry company, or whoever got the most teeth repairs, like kind of a negative, a negative game, or like who can go the longest without getting a filling or something like that. It could be a way to maybe gamify your market and your industry, and that would be disruptive and something completely unique. And not necessarily everyone has to do that, but maybe there's some element of some other thing that you could bring into your industry to really mix things up and really take over.
And I think of one like Netflix. Before Netflix even came out, really predominantly Blockbuster and various movie stores, it was you had to go to the store to actually then acquire the film, go in and return it. And then Netflix come along and says, we'll just ship it to your door. And so there you go. You had Blockbuster, for like Amazon mailing or whatever, Blockbuster for your mailbox. And so it's just like, oh my goodness, Blockbuster to your home. It's just
Blockbuster for your computer, or the iTunes of movies, if you will, to be able to just be like the radio of movies. It's almost on demand became this whole new coined phrase because somebody disrupted their industry by becoming unique by saying, what else can I add to this? So interesting. All right, so
we've got a third one here. All right, the third one is Steve Blank's XYZ. Very simple. This is a very, very down to earth. We help X do Y, doing Z. So for example, ours, we would say we help small local business owners discover a high return on investment in online marketing by capitalizing on their unique selling proposition.
Mm-hmm. So wedding video companies, we help people that are getting married capture their wedding in a cinematic way by pre-production and same-day edits.
Yeah.
And it's like, there you go.
Going back to the weddings.
So
hopefully you're getting married soon, because then you could,
or maybe you have a photography company or wedding videography company. It'd be great help for you. Or
for instance, a mechanic. All right, we help customers with car problems by by repairing their cars the same day and returning it to them.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that would be an amazing. Can you imagine driving your car in, you have a major problem, and they work so fast that they say, look, we will actually take the problem, we will assess it, we have such an inventory here that we will then take it, turn around, repair it, and have it out the same day. In fact, this reminds me of that painting company. Why don't you tell me about that painting company?
There was another, speaking of great companies that took something and made it unique, there is a company that does 24-hour paint company, or it's maybe even 12 hours, one day paint company, I believe. And what they do is they go out and they round up people at Home Depot. They hire people just for that day. They give them shirts, so they're all wearing uniforms. They get the right paint, and they show up like a fleet at someone's house. And they're like, okay, here we are. Whatever the job is, we're going to get it done before the end of the day. And they take the people out. They tell them to, go somewhere, have fun. If they go overtime, they pay for the people's motel or hotel. Wherever they go, they pay for it. It's 100% guaranteed that they will get it done in the allotted time, or else they will pay for their place to stay. They always leave a vase of flowers, no matter what, as just an extra little touch to make the place smell nice, because there was paint inside. And so they basically were to do Steve Blank's XYZ. I'll put that back on screen so we can look at it. Right. They help people that need paint by painting their house in one day. And they had this amazing thing. They charge a little bit more because they're providing an amazing service, which is really another lesson about how your unique selling proposition can really help your business not only get more customers, but actually help you to charge more money, because there is definitely a perceived higher value. Like, how much more would you be willing to pay to say, I want this just done in a day? How often have people had contractors where they've been like, oh, okay, I'll come back and finish it, and as a week goes by, days or whatever, but to get it done in one day guaranteed, or you get put into a motel until it's done the next day. I mean, that's worth the premium.
And I'd actually want to slightly, I would say, add to what you're saying by, we help not just anybody who wants a paint job, really, because that's not leveraging really what they do. We're helping a person who's strapped for time paint their house in one day.
Cool. And let's look at that again.
Yeah, that is, I think, again, their leveraging of saying, look, we help people who they're like, man, we got to move in a week, we're getting out, or whatever it may be. And so that's their customer base. Their customer, because the person who's like, look, I got the time and I'll do it myself, that's not their customer. So that's all right. They're not going to be marketing to that person, but they're marketing to the people who are like, oh my goodness, I need it done yesterday. So that's who they're doing it for. We'll help you paint your house, and we'll do it in one day. And so there's a great example of finding out what it is who is your target audience and what is it that they need, find that solution, and then deliver and over-deliver by leaving a little thing of a vase of flowers.
And that's the type of stuff that you may not even advertise, the little vase of flowers, but it's something that word of mouth will actually, it'll spread.
And this leads us then to our last one there, which is Vlaskovitz and Cooper's CPS, which is the customer problem and solution. Again, you'll see a pattern in all of this because there's nothing new under the sun. This is very common, and yet these are different ways of approaching it. So again, we're giving you 4 different samples for you to choose and figure out what would you like to do. So the customer, again, who is your ideal customer, your target customer? What's the problem that they have? And then the third thing is, what is the solution that you're providing? So again, a great example would be, what we do. I believe that, our best customers are small local business owners who are not satisfied with their current marketing return on investment because existing solutions are generic, weak, and lack an overall strategy. Our solution is a custom comprehensive strategy that leverages a business USP so that they can dominate their marketplace. So there again is an example of what we do and how we would say this is what our USP and how we leverage what we do then. So what would be another example then using the customer problem solution example?
So we'll just stick with our wedding photographers. So customer, who is your customer? Your customer is someone looking to get married that maybe wants the best wedding photographer possible for the X number of dollars. So problem, what problem you're solving for the customer? You are providing the best service for the least amount of dollars for them. You're answering their solution. You're answering their problem. The solution is that you do it by, you have a system in place where you have the pre-production and the set design already ready for it.
Okay. Another example perhaps would be, say, a plumber, all right, or an air conditioning company, some type of HVAC. And again, a number of common problems within those is they would want to know, okay, are these people legit? They background checks. You see that in a lot of ads, which is good. Yet nonetheless, again, it is becoming more of a norm. And so, but wouldn't it be amazing if there was an ability to guarantee that when we come in, we actually fix your problem and don't have to assess it, go to the shop, get our equipment, come back and try to fix it? That if they actually had a vehicle that stored and stashed and had a level of inventory with the vehicle so that when they showed up to do the assessment, they could fix it on the spot and say, boom, we'll do it now, we'll fix it now, we'll guarantee it, no overcharge, we show you the price up front, no additional charge. By giving that kind of service and leveraging that, you're going to stand out from all the other ones who aren't prepared. They're ill prepared. And by being ill prepared, they're going to lose customers. Whereas you, if you know how to leverage and build your business that way, perhaps you're not ready for that. But imagine and think, what would your customer want that would wow them? And then become that company and leverage that USP.
Very good. All right. So let's go back to the screen here. Who are you?
All right. We want you to go ahead and choose, one of the USP templates that we just did. We just did 4, and we want you to choose one of them and go ahead and write in your own USP, either in the comment section below or on the side there. And we'd love to get a chance to see, what you are writing, what business you are writing, and go ahead and write it in. And what we're going to do then is we want you to, if this has been helpful, we'd love for you to go ahead and like this and subscribe to our channel. And, we're going to be giving a lot more marketing tips. And then as well,
this is just step 1 and dozens.
Yes. And what I'd also like is, if you would like to know more, is go ahead and download in the right below us, actually. In fact, go ahead and cut us back here. So right below, if you take a look, I think
this is it. They're seeing this right now.
Okay, they are seeing that. Okay, good. If you take a look right there, get access now. It's a little delayed there, but if you get access now, you can actually download the article by Tor Grunsand by clicking on the Get Access Now there. And that is actually where we got a lot of this information from. We've collaborated a lot of resources there. But if you want to read the full article, that he gives 7 examples and a bonus, you can read it there, download it, and hopefully that'll help you. If you want to know more, you can contact us and get a hold of us. If you've signed up, great, you'll be getting more information. If you haven't, you can go to our site at standanpro.com and get a chance to talk with us that way. Or like I said, subscribe on our YouTube channel at the Go2Gurus, where we're going to be providing more marketing tips for you. Any closing thoughts here, Stanley?
No, I think this, again, is the foundation of the rest of what we're going to talk about. And stick with us, because this is really just the beginning. And if you found this interesting, just wait till the rest of the stuff that we have for you guys. And we really look forward to seeing your comments, being able to help you guys with your marketing, and being able to give you guys some tips. So, all right. So till next time, this is Stan.
And I'm Dan.
With Stan Dan Productions. Thank you very much.